All right, so I'm going to walk through setting up the Khan Academy for our assignments for next week. It was just a lot easier to find something already pre-made that would self-grade with videos instead of trying to make several assignments. I don't mind making assignments, it's just that as few students that are actually completing the online assignments, I felt like my time was better spent searching for a way to set up online learning. So, anyways, Khan Academy was all there and it was quick and easy to do. So, I'll show you how to do that. If you don't already have an account, you can log in and can continue with your Google. And so, of course, just choose your school Google account. It may ask you for different prompts that I've already answered. I've had this set up from previously. I had an honor student actually that would get done with his work and I would set him up on Khan Academy. So anyhow, I already had answered some things and somehow I've tied it to my White County High School account. And so anyways, so unless you've already set up classes, this probably is blank. To get to this page, it's the teacher dashboard. So here in the top corner where your name is at, you can click on teacher dashboard. Most of the time when I click on my name, my notifications are showing, so I have to arrow back to get to teacher dashboard. So on the teacher dashboard, you can add a new class. Once you add a new class, you can choose to import from Google Classroom and connect to a Google Classroom account. And so when you select a class, and I'm not going to actually pick any of these because I've already set mine up and it'll reinstall and I'll have duplicates. But you would pick a class and there may be other prompts, but it's super simple to do. And it immediately sends out an email to students. And I've had some, not many, already accept. So it sends them an email straight to their email account that's through Google Classroom. So once you get those set up, whether you have all your students in one Google Classroom or individual like I have, that now allows your students to access your Khan Academy class. So then I went and searched for topics. So we're going to do adding polynomials. And so you could finish typing out adding polynomials, but I selected this adding and subtracting polynomials. And then I selected the first video that popped up that's just called adding polynomials. So I found that it's best to not assign students the videos, to only assign them the practice. So anything with a pencil. If I assign everything, they get an email for everything. So I'm sure you received all those emails earlier when I was messing around with that, and I do apologize. I did not mean to flood your email. So in the practice, so you just click on that assignment that has the pencil. The reason why I feel like this is going to be plenty for them is because if they get stuck, it gives them this prompt that they can watch a video or use a hint. So if they click on that, here's the video that we could have assigned that was just ahead of that, or they can click on get a hint and go through that. So anyways, so once you've selected the assignment that's a pencil, up at the top it says assign to, and so you would select, and there's all of my classes. So select them, all the students doing, and you can choose. I'm going to leave it at different questions just for whatever reason. Due by, I'm going to say next Friday at 11:59 is fine with me. And I'm actually going to just hit save. If you hit assign, it actually emails them right away. So I'm just going to hit save. And then I'll show you how to actually assign it to your classes here in just a moment. So that is the first one that I selected, is that adding polynomials. And then the next one that's a pencil, the subtracting polynomials. Do the same thing. The cool thing is it already saves all your settings. So it kept the 3 classes, you kept the due date, and so you just have to hit save. Goodness. And then practice add and subtract. So same idea, hit save. And I should have pointed out that these were in the Algebra 2 course for polynomials. I felt like the assignments were reasonable at our students' level. And then the next courses that we're assigning. So if you type in multiply binomials, so multiplying binomials, and again, it's the first one that comes up. And under the Algebra 1 section, or under the Algebra 1 course, Melanie had also looked for, she typed in just multiplying polynomials, and that actually brought up the Algebra 2 course. They're just more difficult problems, and because really our goal is to help the students that are not passing. I wish my family would hold off on the text messaging for a second. I don't know how to pause it. So anyhow, I apologize for the dinging messages. So Melanie found the Algebra 2 course, and those problems just more and more challenging. And because my thought is this is really for students that are not passing, to help them bring up their grade, so to just keep it more basic. So again, assigning the pencils. So here, practice multiplying binomials area model. We decided not to do that, just don't want to get confused with that. But here, this pencil, the multiplying binomials intro. So that, and again, it's already saved the settings, and hit save again. And there was another pencil that was multiplying binomials practice. I do like the differences in those because the first one of these multiplying binomials are just pretty basic binomial time binomial where the variable does not have a coefficient. This next practice does have a variable, does have a coefficient on the variable. And by the way, this is what the hint looks like. I was just playing around. And that's the cool thing about Khan Academy. It always saves your progress. So I hit hint and it gave you the first step, and I hit hint again, it gave you the second step. So you could get another hint, and of course it answers the problem for you. So those are the assignments here. And then I agree with Melanie. She chose this special products. So we will click there to continue. And there were 2 more assignments there in those sections. This pencil one that is a multiplying, Khan is talking. So multiplying difference of squares, which is pretty cool for them to do because we just factored it. So it'd be good for them to see this again in the multiplication. So save that one. And perfect square binomials, which we all know that they're going to try and square the first term and square the second term rather than writing it out twice. But again, good for them to practice. So saving that one. So that gets all the assignments saved. And if you go back to your name in the top corner and hit Teacher Dashboard, it brings you back to your classes. And when you click on a class, or if you have all yours in one, when you click on that, go over here to the left where it says assignments, at manage. So when you're ready to actually push these assignments out to your students, you see in active, there are no active assignments. So if you click on saved, there's all the assignments that we have chosen. So the adding, subtracting, or add, subtract, and the combination of adding and subtracting, multiplication, both of those, and the difference of squares, and perfect square binomials. So it seems like a lot, but each one only asks them to do 4 problems. If they miss a problem, then it is already a 75, because with 4 they're 25 points apiece, but it does allow them to redo and try again to improve their grade. So once you have all of those in the saved, when you're ready, you can just go down through there and click assign, and that's when it'll push out the emails to the students. If you need to delete Of course, you can just check box as many as you need and hit delete. Of course, once they start submitting, their scores will show up there in the assignment scores. I don't have any yet. I thought it looked differently, but that's okay. I have noticed that, so like right now I have this one student in this class that's accepted my invitation. I have noticed that when I go back into this Khan Academy and I open up the class, it asks me if I want to update the assignments for all students. So I guess when I start sending out assignments, if a student joins after I've already done that, you have to tell it yes to push those assignments to those students. So just a heads up on that, that you may need to do. Something else to be mindful of, that even though yes, you've linked it with Google Classroom, it actually does not show up in Google Classroom. It doesn't make any sort of post in Google Classroom. You would have to share that yourself through that platform. Something you might want to do maybe in your weekly email with parents and students is share the class code. So you can click there, copy that, and they have the option, of course, joining through the email that Khan Academy sent, but you could also send this through email, or even the Google Classroom, post that as an assignment. I'm trying to think anything else that we covered and discussed. That pretty much gets it all set up, and I just think it'll be a lot easier for students, or actually a lot easier on us as far as prep work. It was very little to do. And so hope this helps and hope it works well.